This program contains dramatic discussions of real-world events and contains material which is intended for adults only. Listener discretion is advised.
This week on The Proprietaries.
This is Joe Turner.
Identification?
My name is Turner. I work for you. Now listen.
Identify yourself.
What is your designation?
Condor.
Something has happened.
Section 9, Department 17. The section's been hit.
The Proprietaries, an unauthorized descent into the astrological charts of proprietary companies, black-budget corporations that conduct business in the shadows, above the law and off all maps, secret banks and stealth airlines, classified programs and covert bases, all outposts of an empire within an empire, a vastly well-financed ghost realm that officially does not exist.
All right, well, welcome. First episode of The Proprietaries, where we look at astrology, where we study astrology by looking at the charts of CIA proprietary companies and related matters. So to start today, we'll actually going to take a look at the CIA's chart. That's the Central Intelligence Agency. And we'll start just by doing the Sun-Moon combination. And those of you who are familiar with Hexagon magazine, this did appear in the third issue of Hexagon. This is Virgo Sun, Scorpio Moon, the praying mantis in the Mission Impossible, the artisan assassin, and the craftsperson of covert operations. Sun symbolizes a conscious identity. The moon symbolizes deeper, more unconscious emotional needs. These are the two sources of light in a chart, and together they describe the basic psychological architecture of a person, project, organization, and company. CIA has its sun in Virgo, which is a sign of competency, and its moon in Scorpio, sign of covert operations. Both signs are associated with investigative work, albeit in slightly different ways. Virgo is the CIA crime scene investigator, CSI officer assigned to examine a crime scene. Scorpio is the deep cover agent assigned to infiltrate a crime syndicate. Virgo's eye for detail makes it great at forgery, sabotage, and cyber warfare, either committing it or spotting it. Scorpio's sense for the hidden makes it great at blackmail, coercion, and espionage, either plotting it or untangling it. Virgo's discreet nature means it excels at being seen without being noticed, similar to a company's janitorial staff. Scorpio's secretive nature means it excels at being neither seen nor noticed, similar to a company's internal affairs department. Combine Virgo's capacity for quiet anonymity with the Scorpio moon's need for secrecy, and the result is a Sun-Moon combination uniquely suited to the world of high-stakes spycraft. 1975 film 3 Days of the Condor is a surprisingly accurate portrayal of the agency. Stars Robert Redford as Joe Turner, a bookish CIA analyst, which is Virgo, working under the secret guise, as Scorpio, of the American Literary Historical Society, CIA-funded arts and literature organization. Now, also in that film, what he inadvertently comes across is a secret plot to seize the world's oil fields. And actually, if you think about the CIA, you can almost think of it as a giant oil intelligence firm. So it was established by Wall Street, two Wall Street attorneys back in the 40s, John Doles and John and Alan Doles. And the most important thing to Wall Street, people think banks or technology companies, actually oil companies. Because without the world's 50 largest oil fields, that's where a disproportionate amount of the world's oil comes from. You don't have even Facebook or Dell Computer or any of these things. Everything in the modern days relies on oil. Even advanced technology is, manufactured and is still dependent on oil. So basically, the CIA exists to protect largely the interests of the oil industry. And in that film, that's what he sort of inadvertently uncovers. And they've also funded a lot of, a lot of art and literary projects. That maybe I'll get into at a different time. So that's actually probably one of the better movies. It was also, this is what I read online, don't know if it's true or not, it was the movie that prompted the CIA to begin liaisoning with Hollywood more, because they did not look so hot in that film. And if you notice, I don't know if that's true or not, if that was the film that prompted that, but since then, most of the time when the CIA is in a film, even if they're the bad guys, they still kind of come off good, right? So there might be something to that theory. So astrologer Jefferson Anderson calls the combination of Virgo Scorpio the sly fox, whose, quote, intellectual bearing masks a deeply secretive nature. Scorpio, almost all of which is conducted on along these lines, most of what the CIA does involves intellectual analysis. It's Virgo, of a deeply secretive nature. Scorpio, almost all of which is conducted on the sly. Looking through business documents, sifting through medical files, poring over satellite photos to find minor anomalies that may lead to larger conspiracies, or the type of intensely intellectual that's a Virgo, deep cover work Scorpio, that comprises the agency's bread and butter competency. For instance, analyzing stacks and stacks of insurance files may not seem terribly exciting, but in the capable hands of a Virgo Scorpio, those files can be turned into a highly effective tool, that's Virgo, for espionage, that's Scorpio, one that can quickly discern a target's most sensitive vulnerabilities. And it's not known by the general public, but the CIA actually evolved out of the Office of Strategic Services, a World War II organization whose ultra-secret insurance intelligence unit utilized mundane details found within insurance filings to determine who would live and who would die. According to a year 2000 Los Angeles Times article, The Secret Agent Insuranceman, the agency's insurance specialists, quote, mined standard insurance records for blueprints of bomb plants, timetables of tide changes, and thousands of other details about targets. That insurance information was critical to Allied strategists who were seeking to cripple the enemy's industrial base and batter morale by burning cities, end quote. Intelligence about the financial health of German insurance companies also helped paint a more accurate picture of how much support Hitler could count on from Germany's merchant class as the war neared a close. Meanwhile, the liquidation of life insurance policies taken out by Jewish people provided deeply troubling hints about the unfolding of the Holocaust. The insurance files also revealed that a number of prominent American business people were supporting the Third Reich, either intentionally or inadvertently, due to the incredibly complex nature of international reinsurance enterprises. Some of these files have since been released, but many are still heavily censored. Okay, so I think that is probably we're gonna do this in a couple parts. So that is part one on the CIA's chart, and a little bit about the film 3 Days of the Condor. So we're gonna do episode 1 is gonna be in 2 parts. So this part and then then part 2. All right, that's about it for today. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.